always from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to The Mystery in Moonlight. And I'm Don Jackson, around the world on the internet. Writer Mary E. Potter in the Berkshire Eagle told us about some of the subtle qualities of the character of Moonlight. She wrote, and I quote, "Moonlight softens our faults. All shabbiness dissolves into shadow." Unquote. March 31st in the old calendar was a day to mark the Roman festival of Luna, goddess of the full moon, as Nigel Pennick said in his pagan book of days. Moonlight Mystery this hour with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Michael Bublé saved the last dance for me. He was a featured musical guest on Saturday Night Live recently. 5 for Fighting with the Riddle, and Sixpence, None the Richer, and Kiss Me. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. The remnants of moonlight permeated the woods. Sweet fern arced throat-high over the old logging path, cloaking blackberry canes hidden like saw blades in sheaths. Spray of dark sumac, shafts of birch and aspen faintly luminescing. Overhead, a pale and narrowing crack divided the forest canopy, marking their way more clearly than any earthly thing. He stopped when the woods opened onto a glade. The moon was high and bright, and before him the charcoaled skeletons of trees rose from blue marsh grass. Unquote. An excerpt from the story of Edgar Sawtelle by David Wroblewski, published by Bond Street Books, an imprint of Doubleday, a division of Random House, and a past recommendation in Oprah's Book Club. We feel comforted when we see the moonrise, even a sliver of a new moon. Even for a few brief moments on a cloudy night when a break in the cover allows moonlight to stream through. You see, for the most part, humans have been uneasy in the dark. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Loreena McKennitt with The Mummers Dance, Melissa Etheridge and Come to My Window, and Lights to Drive My Soul. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Rupert Brooke wrote, Rainbows and the blue, bitter smoke of wood, and radiant raindrops couching in cool flowers, and flowers themselves that sway through the sunny hours, dreaming of moths that drink them under the moon. Magical, mystical moonlight with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. CHFI.com. Celine Dion, Have You Ever Been in Love? And Lionel Richie, And You Are. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Barbara Cook, author and quoted in the Christian Science Monitor, said, and I quote, "How utterly natural and nourishing silence can be, particularly when there is love. I cannot think of anything less like emptiness than quietly feeling love for another individual. And the joy of seeing someone doesn't always bring the desire to speak. Not long ago, I opened my eyes in the middle of a moonlit night and saw my husband's profile outlined against the bedroom wall. Not even moving my head from the pillow, I basked in a loving shared silence that was shaped only by soft breathing. When I finally closed my eyes, I knew completely how substantial was any silence that cradled love." Author Barbara Cook, quoted in the Christian Science Monitor. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Christopher Cross with Arthur's theme and Jim Cuddy and Pull Me Through. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. The iris pond has flowered before the old temple. I sell tea this evening by the water's edge. It is steeped in the cups with the moon and stars. Drink and wake forever from your worldly sleep. A quote from the 09 Zen Page at 8 calendar, selected by David Schiller and published by Workman Publishing in New York. My fish have slowly emerged from their winter hibernation. They're understandably hungry after their long winter's nap. It's still a little too soon for the water irises, but our crocuses are up in clumps around the property. I've seen raccoons about late in the night, and skunks too. Conrad Aiken refers to the one thing I have yet to see this year. One by one, in the moonlight there, neighing far off on the haunted air, the unicorns come down to the sea. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Van Morrison, Into the Mystic, and Gino Vannelli, and Wild Horses. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. This is an excerpt from the July 1988 issue of Glamour magazine, and I quote, "One windy summer night in the Thousand Islands, I sat on a dock, wrapped in a blanket, watching the big moon skim in and out of fat gray clouds, smelling the thick, fragrant country air, my mind far from ordinary cares. That to me is the essence of summer, an escape from every day to something more powerful, universal, peaceful. Unquote. I hope I've been able to recapture some of that mystery we spoke of at the top of the hour, since March 31st in the old calendar was a day to mark the Roman festival of Luna, goddess of the full moon. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.